my gosh.
We should have done a Who Grew It Better with this toy. Huxley's
Oh
is
my
like
gosh, I know.
in pieces.
Pudge, is your time
Pudge,
shine.
you grow all your toys better.
I know, you
than
did so
Pudgy.
gentle. You're so
I
gentle.
know. You don't even
Warning, dog sounds. This is not going well.
Ow, ow.
Pudge, you're not gonna hurt Auntie.
Okay, Pudge, sit down, please. Good
Oh
boy.
my god, I just want to eat his flaps.
No, eat it.
How do you talk with the lozenge in your mouth?
And crunch. We gotta crunch it.
I was like, do you do this all the time?
I just felt like having one.
It reminds me of the Asian mukbangers. They'll like eat like a whole shrimp with the shell. They'll separate it, they'll put the whole thing in their mouth. They'll separate like the shell from the meat. They'll swallow the meat, they're talking.
And then they pull out.
And then randomly pull it out. I'm like,
What?
was that in your mouth the whole time?
Wait, you watch way more mukbang than I
And
do.
it's weird because I don't even like sounds of chewing and eating.
Does it make you hungry though?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh, I like it. Oh my god, I look like a beached whale.
You
I'm
don't?
I'm on my period. Look, it's all
Okay.
right here.
We accidentally matched today.
Welcome to the Poo 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 Show.
I'm Poo Poo.
And I'm Poo Poo too. Dun, 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 dun.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to part 2 of Who Grew It Better. And part 1 is like a year ago on Charmaine's channel, so I'll link that in the description. We're back with part 2.
Finally. Okay, at least he's distracted. Warning, dog sounds.
So in case you didn't see part 1 on Charmaine's channel, this is where we show the plants that we have that are the same and see who grew it better, obviously. It works well because we got a lot of these plants at the exact same time. They're like either from the same like nursery batch or we imported from the same importer. In any case, they're like the same age, and so we can kind of tell you how we've grown them, what conditions we give them, how we feed them, and we can, I guess, collectively judge who grew it better. So we have, I think, 6 plants today. They're like a mixture of different genera. I have some anthuriums, some philodendrons. Wait, is that it?
Yeah.
Anthurium and philodendrons.
Philodendron. Oh, and one Hoya.
And one Hoya. I keep losing my train of thought.
Because this guy. You guys, he's just so amped. He's been amped since she got here. Alice hasn't been here in a minute, and like it's always just like this big surprise.
Even if I was here every day, it would be like this.
I feel like she needs to come a day early and just stay here overnight,
over.
and he'll be calm.
Before we start, I have a present for Charmaine.
In your pocket?
In my pocket.
Is it another lozenge?
It's another lozenge and you have to eat it.
What?
It's the key to my house.
You guys, I've never been in her house, but I have a key now.
Now you have a key.
Now I have a key. It's actually not even for me.
It is actually for Jing. It's for her to enter my house in water, but
I'm gonna keep it.
yeah, sure.
I'm gonna keep it. But you know what? We're one step closer to marriage.
If you show the key like that, can people copy it
No.
from an image?
You are a psychopath. You guys.
Are you sure?
I'm so sure. You can Google it. I promise you. You can blur it if you want, but I don't think anyone's coming in your house. I made a copy of my house key for you and it still didn't work.
Yeah, true.
Let alone have an image on a video, you freak.
Nobody come to my house. Okay.
Oh man.
Shall we just get started?
Yeah.
Okay, Pudgy, we're getting started
Oh
now.
my gosh. Okay, Pudgy, we're gonna need you to just reel it all in. Oh no, his rocket's out. It's so pale today. Are you okay? It's usually redder than that.
Your face is like.
Ew, I don't like the way it looks when it's touching my floor. All right, let's get started with the first one. This pillow.
She's on her period.
I really am.
Okay, first one. We imported this when 2
years ago.
Years ago.
As a red mag. Like we got
Yes.
We got this when it wasn't even named what it's named now. We just saw the way it looked. We were like, yep,
Thank you.
Add to cart.
That's a nice guy. So this is...
You're supposed to swallow mine whole.
I mean, it's a little sick, mine. So you guys be the judge of who grew this better.
I'm not reading the comments on these videos.
This is obviously an Anthurium King of Spades, or HU. Mine was about this size when I first got it.
Yeah, mine was about that size too.
Yeah.
I think we got the same exact size, pretty much.
I'm pretty sure we did, yeah. So in that time, I've pretty much grown it always in soil. Inside of an exo, so it's not like crazy high humidity or anything gets like grow lights like all my plants do. And then maybe around 6 months ago I moved it from soil to tree fern soil, 50-50-ish.
Those roots are
Yeah.
cray. And
It
have you
likes
always
it.
been growing with drainage holes?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I have.
Mine, I grew with drainage holes for the first, I feel like the first year
At least.
and then
And it
I
was in
moved it
soil.
and it was in soil, and then I transferred it to pond I think last year, and I chopped it for Amanda before a California trip, and it completely rotted while I was away.
The roots rotted.
The roots rotted and the stem a little bit, so I had to start over. But even before then, it was kind of like struggling because it was in the plant room when it was hella hot.
When you moved it into pond, was that
I feel like it's done.
out here?
No, it was in pond already in the plant room,
Oh, okay, okay.
and it actually really enjoys
Yeah,
pond.
the roots are very satisfying on this plant. They're really thick
Yeah,
too.
super rooty. So I mean, I would say like our root systems are as healthy as one another's, both no drainage and with drainage. I am kind of liking the idea of doing a soil tree fern fiber mix, but I'm just kind of seeing how it goes in pond for now. What would you say, like, if you've had any issues with yours, what has it been historically?
Propagations. So the same as yours. So she took a butt cut for Amanda, sent it to Amanda, and then Amanda got it and it was fine. And then like a couple of days later, it just turned into dust. And then I was like, okay, I'll just take a insurance cutting of mine. So I took another butt cut, had tons of roots. I'm pretty sure I did that on camera. So somewhere in my history, you will have seen it. And that just turned into dust as well. It just like petrified. So I don't, yeah, the only propagation I've ever had that grew anything and survived was a like division. Like it had an offset to the side. I removed that, gave it to Carmen actually. And she's like sent me pictures recently.
It's getting
and
so big.
Yeah, it's so big
Oh
now.
my gosh.
So maybe you have to wait for it to kind of like divide itself.
The only way we can get a division for sure is breaking off the caterpillar, and I don't think either one of us are willing to break the caterpillar off
Or
of
like
ours.
you take a cutting that has leaves maybe.
But my nodes are so close. I feel like yours
Oh,
are
yeah.
too. It's so
Look how
stacked.
short and stubby these petioles are.
I know.
Compare,
They're
it's so much
stubby.
smaller than the leaf,
I know.
right?
They're
Like-
that is something I enjoy about the King of Spades, is how like compact it grows. Like,
Yeah.
if you look at some of my, nobody look. Don't look up there. I would say the thing I struggled with most on this plant has been probably like these yellowing
Edges?
and the crisping edges, and I had that issue too when I had it with drainage holes. So I haven't been able to like diagnose.
But then we're both chronic underwaterers. Do you think that could be it?
Probably, which is one reason I wanted to move it into no drainage with pond.
Yeah.
And
So like one thing that we were talking about earlier with our kind of thirsty anthuriums that don't like to dry out, which is basically all anthuriums, if you wanted to try the ability to flush the plants, then getting like I got a Tupperware or something around here that you can kind of sit it in water with like a leca layer at the bottom. This has a deep saucer that it sits in.
oh, okay.
So when I water it, I let it sit in maybe like a centimeter of water.
I'm honestly really, I haven't said this on my channel yet, but I'm contemplating doing that setup with all of my anthurium. Lauren is also doing that setup with some of hers, and they're growing so well. Like her, she just showed it in her May favorites, but she was struggling with an anthurium, was rotting and everything, so she put it in a square pot with just like a cup at the bottom, and now it's like perfect.
Yeah.
I think it's her blue blue pap or something. I don't remember.
One of the space plants?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I might consider doing that because I think that the no drainage thing with me for Anthurium is just not, it's not really going the way that I had hoped. And I think I just need to try something new.
Or maybe just try it on like a problem one.
Yeah, I think I might try it with this one
because you've been dealing with the same problem, so if that same problem goes away, then it'd be easier to. Because like, what if drainage is not the answer?
I don't know if this is just the thing with the King of Spades, but like the sort of cupped leaves. I don't know. Is that like a
like this kind of thing?
Yeah, like it just kind of gets a little warped. Like it doesn't kind of fully sort of expand and form.
Oh. I kind of noticed this,
in.
I noticed this a lot when was this? After I chopped it, when this leaf was kind of new, it was kind of like this.
Yeah.
Right? Wait.
Oh, mine too. It goes in.
And then it was doing this, looking like it was super thirsty, but then I could see that like the roots were healthy and I had just watered it. It's kind of a little bit doing that right now.
I don't know. This plant is still a mystery to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
This new leaf.
Look at the spider mite damage.
But I feel like as it darkens, it gets a little less noticeable.
You don't have spider mite damage on yours.
I did. Like you can see a little bit here. But I didn't have that much on this one. Just a little. I caught it early enough.
Yeah, this is
but
just
it still looks
atrocious.
Like it's so crazy. Alice didn't have spider mites for the longest time. Everyone in our area, everyone in YVR has spider mites.
Yeah,
it's just
this is the year of the spider mites. I don't understand. Were people overusing imidacloprid like as a community?
I think so. I think so.
But I didn't really use it that much.
But you were acquiring plants that
maybe
people have.
I did use it, but I didn't use it a lot.
Because yeah, she didn't have spider mites for freaking the first
my whole life.
Yeah, like the first 2 years I knew her, she like never had a single spider mite.
Now I just wish I just had mealy bugs again.
No, you don't.
I'd trade in all my spider mites for mealy bugs in a heartbeat.
Actually, yeah, because mealy bugs, they're such a tame.
Yeah, they don't do this.
They don't
to your
do
plant.
that. They're so nice.
Thrips don't really do this. Spider mites do the worst damage and they're hardest to get rid of. And they just love Anthurium emergent leaves.
Because they're so juicy and delectable.
And you don't see it until the leaf is like expanded. So you're like, oh, it's looking so good. And then the next day you come back and it's just covered in speckles.
It's so hard. But man, I'm so glad we imported this. Like this is still one of like my favorite imports to date.
One of those ones you really didn't know what it was and you just took a chance.
Do you remember how much we got this for?
I'm gonna say somewhere around $120 or something like that.
I was like, why didn't we get more? Now I remember why. It wasn't cheap. We got it early, but it wasn't cheap still.
It wasn't cheap. And there's that whole thing about like the generations and like the earlier generations being a little bit prettier.
Yeah.
A little bit rounder with like nicer colors. I've been noticing some of the newer King of Spades on the market are kind of paler, like a little greener.
Yeah.
Which is not my favorite. I like how dark yours. Like yours, was it? No, it would have been.
I think it was.
Was it gone?
I think it's gone.
It was like dark purple.
It was like black.
It was like aubergine. It was
and
so
I think
pretty.
it was in.
It was in your video.
It was in my video. If you want to go.
Yeah.
Check it out.
If you want to see a comparison of these two plants a year ago, then make sure you watch that video. Anyways, the takeaways on the care, humidity doesn't need to be high. I think you can avoid some of the like jaggedy edges when it emerges a little bit better.
This one grew on my living room shelf, and you can kind of see it's a little munched. It had a little bit of trouble coming out, but this one did grow on this shelf, so.
It's kind of thirsty when it gets to this kind of root system. I would say.
I'm watering mine pretty solidly once a week, and I do leave a little bit of a reservoir down here, and it uses the water pretty quickly. Oh my god, Pudge is gonna be honking in the background.
And also, I think it can take a good amount of light. I think it's one of those anthuriums where you give it stronger light and it'll give more red and actually kind of dark leaves. Like as this one got raised a little bit closer to the light, like still quite dark. just a little bit more vibrant.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
All right, so yeah, King of Spades. I'm
So-
gonna say she obviously grows it better. Like, you know, mine is the spider mites. We all have spider mites here, but I think in terms of like leaf size growth and stuff like that, I'm gonna say Alice wins this round.
I would be happier to take that if it wasn't for this.
You know,
Feel
like
yeah.
spider mites, they're just, you know, they came into your home uninvited.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So Pudge has gone to the bedroom and he's not happy about it. So
Would you guys rather hear honking or a little bit of barking for the next few minutes?
give it a second.
He's not searching for his treats.
I know.
Everyone just pretend you don't hear that. Take off your headphones.
Is this worse or better?
Pudge, I did a whole scavenger hunt. Look, there's treats all over. There's treats everywhere. Kids, have kids, they said. It'll be fun, they said. All right.
Okay, next is the plant.
One of my faves.
One of her favorites. I've maybe shown this once on my channel.
You're so weird.
I don't know why.
I show this plant any chance I get. I'm like, welcome to my Anthurium video. So here's my.
Okay, so this is Philodendron Summer Glory.
I love seeing
We
this on camera.
bought the same size plant at the same time from the same seller. When was this? Like
Oh man.
fall of last year maybe?
I want to say it was like in. Oh, I know when it was. October.
Oh, okay.
October, November.
Like 7
Ish
months ago.
And the leaves were like this big,
Yeah.
maybe even smaller. Actually, no, that was
This.
It was.
Oh, wait. Spider mite.
Oh no, is it bad? Oh yeah. Do you want a tissue? Do you want tissue? Well, we just won't let them touch.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay. I think this was the first leaf to grow in my care after like something like this size. It was really, really tiny. Mine had stem rot when I first got it, so I had to like chop the stem in half. It was maybe like this much left of it. Then I rerouted it in pon, and I just kind of like neglect it pretty much. And now it looks like this. Mine's actually crawling. Yours is kind of crawling too.
Yeah, it's starting to crawl.
Yeah, mine's
It
like
was-
definitely crawling now.
Yeah, it was climbing for a little bit, but now she's a crawling. So I think after maybe like two leaves, I'm probably gonna have to repot this puppy. But
So yours is tree fern.
mine is actually just soil, I think. No, yeah, tree fern fiber soil.
Yes, no drainage.
No drainage.
No.
No reservoir.
Yep, just straight in there.
Yeah, and it's I would say a pretty denser soil mix. There's not a ton of amendments in here. Like I would say mostly soil and perlite.
Mine is in my standard mix of pon, perlite, orchiata. Rooted okay, I think. There's a lot of algae in here, but you can kind of see it's kind of full of roots-ish.
Yeah.
Probably can't really see. So yours is definitely growing way better. Way bushier. This is my newest leaf, so that's like the only good leaf, I would say. The leaf before it was this one, so like, it jumped up a good amount.
I mean, I'll say like yours is a pretty comparable size to mine for having stem rot before. Because I didn't have any issues with this. It's always been a really, really
Right.
good grower for me.
I mean, I could just like, if we only talk about this leaf and none of the others.
Yeah, this one's growing pretty, I would say pretty steadily. I thought that for like a hybrid, it was gonna be bigger than it is now. For having gotten it like half a year ago, but we did get it
True.
over the winter.
True.
I do think
Yeah.
that both of ours are gonna gain significant amount of size this summer, and we both
Yeah.
have to repot ours.
Maybe that's why they call it summer glory.
Wow, she's so smart.
So smart.
So smart.
But this happened very recently, like kind of throughout a mini heat wave, so maybe it is true.
My ADHD is like my brain, guys. If you could see the things going on in I cannot focus.
I'm like the opposite. When the camera turns off, oh no. When the camera turns on, if my brain is operating at like supposedly 100% capacity, it goes to like 10%.
Allegedly.
If normal is 100%, camera on, boop, 10%.
Okay, anyway,
So she grew it better.
Well, okay, yours is growing in
an exo, quite close to grow lights, and that's why it's kind of a little bit bleached.
Mine is growing, actually I've kind of moved mine around, like it was growing in an exo and then it was growing on the shelf in my plant room and now it's growing in my Millsbow. So I've kind of just been like moving around as it grows just because it does have sort of like, you know, a wingspan. So I've had to sort of move it around, but it's always been in a controlled environment and somewhere warm. Light has always
Somewhere
kind of fluctuated.
in the plant room.
Somewhere in the plant room. I've never had it out here, although I do think as like maybe once it outgrows this pot, I'll probably grow it out here or something.
I don't know if I want to keep it in pond. It seems to like pond.
Yeah.
I will have to upsize this pot though. It's teeny tiny.
I know. I really haven't had any struggle with this plant at all in terms of rooting or leaves unfurling.
Oh yeah,
Like,
true. Yeah, the unfurling is always like...
It's been pretty easy. Like I highly recommend this plant to anyone who is like kind of looking for like a different, you know, philodendron to add to their collection where you don't really have to think about it too much.
Yeah, it's just that pinky color. I wish this leaf was a little bit fresher. You can see how like pink it is down the midrib. It's so pretty when
It's like
it comes
this
out.
pink on the emergent. So yeah, no struggles. I feel like both of us are kind of keeping it in relatively the same conditions, which is why they kind of look the same.
Same-ish. I think you probably give yours less light, so it's not as bleached. I don't want to touch yours because I've been touching my leaves. I think because like Gloriosum's an understory plant and probably the Macaulay's hybrid is a understory plant, so I'm giving it too much light, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so maybe upsize the pot, pull yours away from a little light,
Yeah.
wipe down the leaves. Freaking spider mites. But you know what? For having spider mites, like you can't really, like the damage isn't so like...
Yeah, if anything, the
Yeah.
damage is from light and not from spider mites. It's
Yeah.
got like a really nice thick texture.
I cannot explain how much I love the texture of this. Like the first time I like saw it in person, it's just not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Okay, can you describe the... I can't do it. I'm like
This is-
leathery satin. Like what would you compare it to? Another plant.
Oh, another plant.
Yeah. I can't quite put my finger on it. This was me filming the textural plant. In between takes, I'm just like...
I don't know.
Okay, let's just say it's unlike anything you've ever felt on this earth. We're pushing the Summer Glory agenda.
This is quite available in the States, right?
Yeah, and you can get huge pots of it, like 12-inch, 14-inch pots.
We can't get that here.
No.
This was, I think, they bought it from the States, right?
Yeah.
They brought it in from the States.
And she took a bunch of props, and we got it for a really good price. Thank you, Krista.
Woohoo!
Yep.
End
Summer
of story.
Glory.
Your deliveries
Yeah.
here.
So let's take a commercial break.
Be right back.
Be right back. I don't want to do this next one. I resent
It's okay.
this next one.
It's okay, because you're gonna win one of the a few of the ones coming up.
What a sad, sad Friday.
This next one we imported, or you imported, I guess, in like late spring of 2021 from Equigenera.
Yes.
And we paid too much money for it.
We don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it, but it's okay because we split it in half. You sold the cutting, blah blah blah. Your plant, you took a cutting of it, and then I got.
She took the bottom.
Was it the bottom or like the ooh?
I know. I was staring at that juicy boy.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Damn. God damn.
It was a mid cut, I think it was, because I think you sold the bottom with like a bunch
Oh
of
yeah,
leaves,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Because I wanted to give you a bigger leaf than the one at the bottom,
Right.
and
yes.
it still wasn't even that big.
And you said throw it in your tent, and she'll love it, and she did. So this is Philodendron patriciae.
Okay, you start. You go all the way back there. Okay, scoop back. Okay, I'll go way up front. All right, here we go.
Here
See,
we go.
so
See?
comparable.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's
So they're like twins.
They are. They're basically the same size, as you can tell. They stretch. Oh my god. Oh my god. Go back there. Oh my god, this is so sad. Look at the slow progression. Oh no. Oh no. She's swallowing her whole. Where did my plant go? We don't know. This is so depressing.
So
Wait, show him this juicy guy.
Oh, the newest.
Holy juice
It got a little bit banged up in transit.
I'm dying. I want a leaf that big.
Very soon you shall.
Mm-hmm.
Did you great white him?
I did.
You had some nice juicy roots too.
Yes.
I kind of recently repot mine.
We're both
I
growing
thought-
in no drainage.
No drainage in soil. I have a leca layer at the bottom. You do
No
not.
leca.
But I need this because Patricia is so thirsty.
So thirsty.
But despite being so thirsty, it doesn't like crisp up and like yellow leaves. If you underwater it, it just gets a little droopy. But maybe that's the great white talking. I don't know.
She's like, it doesn't yellow, it doesn't crisp. Yeah, it doesn't. I'm not really having any of those issues. Nope, not me.
I don't know what it is.
This plant, just like me and her, we have a love-hate relationship for sure. I feel like she hated me for like the longest time, and we
You
haven't.
took her butt away.
I did. I took her butt away. She didn't grow for like forever, and I don't know. It's been a slow burn.
Yeah, I definitely grew mine in my tent for longer, way longer than you did yours.
I have mine in my EXO,
Now mine's in my EXO, but it was in my tent until it couldn't live in there anymore.
so maybe I need to put mine in my tent.
Maybe. What's even in there?
My spider mite plants.
Oh.
Because they're all like contained in there, and it's actually getting a lot better because I literally just spray it while they're in there.
Well, don't put it with the spider mite plants.
I know.
We both have ours on one of Lauren's clear D-shaped moss poles. And mine's in tree fern perlite, yours in tree fern moss.
Yeah. Can you even see the roots? Yeah, I've got some roots starting
Where did
down
mine
here.
go? Oh yeah. Here's this big juicy guy.
I know. She didn't even notice it.
I didn't even know it was there. I just kept watering this tree fern, just hoping something would happen, but never checking. So this is the first time mine's ever been on a pole, was when I got it onto this thing. So it had grown this leaf without even being on a pole. So I don't know that it really needs one, but it does kind of need it for like containment, because it was kind of growing sideways. So it would have like kept growing like this way if I didn't get it onto a pole. You can see this hook is to like pull it back in.
And support. It's heavy.
Yeah. Do you see that it started growing like sideways, and then when I pulled it back in, it started to grow
Reel
upward.
it in, reel it in. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
hoping to get some size growth on mine, because this is the first time I've had it on a pole. I only did this a couple weeks ago. Oh, gotta peel this thing off. Oh, there's an aerial root in there.
Oh jeez. Do you want to do the honors?
Sure. As long as
I
you don't
see
get
it?
mad at me again.
You're gonna expose.
Expose the penis.
Wow, there's a full aerial root in there. What the
Fudge, you're
heck?
ruining the ASMR, babe. Hello.
This is so weird. Oh, went into the coffee.
Oh no!
Oh,
There you go. Look at her go. She's good as new.
and then what can we do with you?
U-turn.
Make a U-turn.
Make a U-turn. You can
That's-
also put it into these to put it back down.
Let's just stick him in here.
Yeah, and then he'll grow into the soil.
You guys can't see.
She's doing something down here. There we go.
There we go. Okay,
So,
so I think this plant is getting a little bit more traction. It was like super hyped up when it was very hard to get.
Yeah.
And before like the Ecuadorian nurseries had it. And then it became available, and then people were like, I don't care about you anymore because it's so not rare anymore. And then I think now people,
People
are,
are
like,
back on the train.
yeah.
Back on the patty train. So I think one issue we've both had with this plant are the spots on it. Is this normal? Because
I'm almost positive it's EFN related.
but mine
mine's
doesn't get EFN. To me, it kind of looks like, it doesn't even look fungal. It kind of looks like, I don't know. See, I've got mine like on this leaf, and you can see it more on the emergent leaf on that one. For some reason, my emergent leaf doesn't really have it, whereas all of my emergent leaves before had it.
Yeah, that's true.
Mine doesn't really get EFN. This is like my one plant that's not like really ever sticky. Like I have no sap on mine ever.
Is he humping or?
Half humping. Oh my god, my sister is blowing me up. She's so irritating.
So what were you saying the issue? Oh yeah, the dots.
Yeah, the dots.
Yeah,
I
you
thought
can-
it was like a fungal thing from being in a tent, maybe not enough airflow or something.
Yeah, but it looks too mild to be fungal. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's almost green, you know? It looks kind of like normal.
They just look like little
Normal
pimples.
leaf tissue.
Maybe they're just like patty freckles.
I don't know.
Is that normal? If you
'Cause-
have a patty, do you get these spots on yours? Because we both have, we both get spots on ours.
They are reminiscent of those spots that are all over like a Dean McDowell leaf. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
But it's
I
just
don't
weird 'cause
see
it looks-
EFN coming out of the back.
Have you treated yours with any sprays?
No. Although I should do a spider mite wipe down, but I haven't been foliar feeding. I haven't been really on top of that or like systemic spraying.
The only thing I really sprayed on this is Azamax.
I didn't. I don't think. I might have, but this leaf wouldn't have gotten Asmax. That's all I know. Maybe you could boost it with like high humidity for the summer.
Honestly, I'm thinking of putting this puppy in my tent.
Yeah,
now.
maybe. Because remember, it was doing a lot better in the tent, right? And then you moved it out.
Everything was doing better in my tent, and then I
know.
moved it out. I was like, I'm gonna be great.
I want to get a bigger tent. My
Me
tent's
too.
too small.
Mine is the smallest tent that any company makes. So,
I know. I want a tent the size of Jing's tent.
oh my god, Jing's tent takes up the entire living room. If
Yeah, I
you guys
know.
didn't know that.
Would you recommend this plant?
Yes,
Okay.
I would. I would.
Because
Just
it's not expensive anymore.
no, you should get
Wouldn't
one.
recommend it at the price that we paid.
Yeah, but
Now, yes.
yeah, and don't be surprised if you're gonna get like a seedling size or a small. Don't be expecting anything that looks even like this. You're gonna be pretty underwhelmed. I was super underwhelmed when we first imported
Oh,
this plant.
right. But
And
then
it was
like
just
the sizes that they're selling now are huge.
yeah, they're
They're gonna come in like looking like this,
very true.
right? Like
Very
remember Jing got a second one last year and it was like bigger than this.
But I will say to just be cautious that the patty roots don't ship that well.
Oh yeah. That's what every philodendron kind of
Yeah, but like every patty that Lauren has imported in the last
Oh yeah.
all dead roots. They're all rootless now. We're all starting in water.
There
so
was actually
just-
one with stem rot that we
Yeah.
found.
I can't remember what the roots were like, but I don't think it was great either. But it was a much smaller plant. So just be warned if you are going to be importing this for the first time. But I would recommend it.
I would recommend it, and if I was to import it from Ecuador, I would probably go with tropicals because they package better. The way they packaged this Patricia, like Equigenera, it was just like folded every which way. There's so much mechanical damage that was unnecessary.
It's like bent in half.
Yeah, like tropicals would actually put the polyfill and the paper around each leaf. I mean, if you care about it looking as nice as possible out of the box, then I would probably go with tropicals for
Yeah.
this plant.
Absolutely. I think it's gonna be pretty obvious that I won this round. So no need to comment it. You don't need to vote.
we all know.
We
Just
all
keep it in your
know.
heart.
Just keep it to yourself, okay? We all know.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, good round. Good round.
Okay, so this next one we got from Lauren about last summer. I think it was around July.
Yeah.
So almost a year ago. It was the same size. She had imported these and we saw them in her shop and we were like, you must have it. So then she separated a couple for us. But we didn't know the name of it, but now is it safe to say this is Hoya undulata?
That's what we're calling it.
All right, so here they are.
Oh,
They look
They
so
look so
different.
different. That's so crazy.
So mine is still in the cup of moss that she gave it to us.
Oh
in.
my god, I didn't even realize it was still.
So here's the story. I brought it home. I was like, yay, Hoya. And then I put it on my desk where I edit, which gets like a lot of nice sun. And that's where it's sat for almost a
All
year.
eternity. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Like it gets dried out constantly. I've put off repotting it because I freaking hate repotting Hoyas and like getting the moss.
Especially in moss.
Yeah. And I just know that it's going to die back when I do it.
Yep,
So-
mine did. After I took mine out of moss, and I did mine fairly early. I feel like I did mine,
Within a month.
yeah, within a month of getting it. And so these were the original leaves down here, 1, 2, 3. I think I had 3 other leaves below these ones that fell off right after repotting it. But I mean, once it got reestablished, it just, I mean, like all of these are brand new and it's
the
just
leaves
taken
are
off.
huge.
I know, I don't know
This is the
why.
newest one, right? Or is this one? No, that
This one.
one's newer.
This one's the newest
Oh, actually,
one.
this one I guess would be newer.
Yeah, and then there's another one coming in. I would say the only thing that's been different with this leaf is that I've been using the orchid spray religiously.
Okay.
I do it probably every other day now in my tent.
Oh,
Like after I edit, I've been just making it a point to like decompress and just water all my poles and spray my Hoyas.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, I guess it liked it because this one was significantly larger than any of the other leaves I've grown on it.
Such a nice, big, crusty leaf.
I know. This is like I think like one of those token dumpster Hoyas. Yours looks significantly more dumpster than mine.
So this is the newest leaf to grow. It got, you see, there's a little tear here because I was like, oh, look at this leaf, and then like ripped it. But it's so red. So this is one of those heat wave leaves where it got a lot of direct sun. And then like, look at, where was that leaf? This one. Doesn't even look like the same plant.
That does not look like the same plant at all.
Next to each other.
It's like totally
So
different
weird.
shape. It's like
Different like finish. It's like
Yeah.
shinier.
Like, what
the
the heck?
jaggedy edges are way less pronounced, and like there's no like splashing. Is there any splashing? Oh, I guess there's like that weird purple. Look at that weird purple splash. It's kind of, I think this one's kind of ugly, but this is winter growth. And
like
that's
ugly
heat
ugly
wave.
or cute ugly.
Like ugly. And then I had to treat this one for mealybugs before I came here today. So there's probably still mealybugs on there.
I don't think mealybugs transfer as easily as spider mites, so I think we're okay.
Yeah. But this kind of appeared in this room out of nowhere. But yeah,
I like the purple leaf.
Yeah,
like,
me
imagine
too.
the entire plant being that
That'd be
color.
crazy.
That would be so cool.
I remember when we got it from Lauren though, because it had just come from Indonesia or Thailand or wherever. And I'm pretty sure the leaves overall were like more orange, not orangey, reddy purple. And
We didn't know if it was alive or dead.
Yeah.
Because it was like borderline, like really nicely crusty, but also like,
Is that supposed to be that color?
Yeah. But it's really, really cool.
It definitely faded to green though in our care.
We're both keeping ours in a cabinet. So mine is
No,
in...
mine's just on the desk.
Yeah, yours on a desk. Mine is living in my Redsta right now with 2 10-watt Barinas. I do want to get some stronger lights in there because I'm trying to sunstress my New Guinea Ghost, and it's it's going nowhere fast.
Right.
But I do think I think that the undulata really likes the lights in there. I mean, the leaves are coming in like a nice color. I'm pretty sure I have flat mites, but you know.
Well, I feel like when a Hoya grows really large leaves, it can be due to lower light. But I don't know if that's true of all Hoyas. I know that's true of some Hoyas.
I don't know
So,
crap about Hoyas. I
could
barely know the
probably-
names.
They can take way more light than this, I'm pretty sure. Because if you think about it, like direct sunlight would be like 1,400 foot candles, and you're probably giving it like 600 maybe.
Probably even less than that. It's probably at like 455 right now because it's
Yeah.
lower.
And it's so green.
Yeah. I wonder what would happen if I stuck this in my windowsill for the summer.
I bet it would get color. But it
Here's
looks
the
so
thing.
pretty like
yeah,
this,
here's the
though.
thing is, do I want it to be, because I like the way this looks if it was the whole plant, but I also really love these really
But you know
dark-
this is not permanent, right?
It's
So
not?
if you take it out of high light, like that stress will kind of...
It goes back to green?
Yeah, this is what happened to the other leaves, because they were like really red, and I'm pretty sure, I'll have to look back in my photos, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that like you can sun stress a leaf, and then like when you take it out, it kind of
Goes back?
yeah,
Oh, I
maybe
didn't know.
not fully green, but it will die down a bit.
Maybe I'll take a propagation of this and do both. Try and get one
Maybe.
really
You have
purple.
a lot of spots to cut. I
Yeah.
need to get mine on. Okay, so I'm thinking, because you were saying that tree fern roots Hoyas really fast, so maybe when I unpot it, just to get it to root faster, I'll do tree fern to root it, and then get it onto a trellis. Although I don't know what I would trellis, because it's just a bush.
It's a bush. Oh, by the way, these are the new North Shore Tropicals clear
I need some so
trellises.
bad. I haven't seen Lauren in so long.
I know. They're really nice. They're super sturdy. They're thick. And yeah, this guy needed it because it's heavy.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of weight. There's
Yeah,
a lot
these
of
stems
top.
are really, really thick
Yeah.
for Hoya stems.
Pudge,
like a
I'm
tree.
about ready to go put you outside. Pudge is amped today, dude. He's having a day.
I'm sorry, you guys.
This is Alice's fault.
I know.
Okay,
It's
this is
100%
Alice's
my fault. For existing. Can I live?
I know. Like seriously, every time she's here, he's like hours and hours.
Oh, like when he was at my house, he was like that the entire weekend.
Yeah.
Like-
But when he's here, it's just me and Vince. Sometimes we don't even know where he is. He's so quiet. He's like a little mouse. Just sleeps all day. My gosh. Okay, so yeah, undulata. I would say this is a pretty easy Hoya to care for. I just would not recommend it if you don't have the space because
Big leaves.
big leaves, lots of growth, and it's just growing a lot faster than I can kind of keep up with, honestly.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it because I love dumpstery Hoyas, and I didn't have to grow this in any sort of controlled environment, and it lasted all winter long by the windowsill. It was really cold, not much light. It's moss that I barely water. So who won this one? You definitely won this one because you actually are actively growing it, and I've been neglecting it like crazy, and I let it have mealy bugs.
Well, looking at the upcoming roster, I'll take the win. I accept this win. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Good job, Angela.
Okay, so this next one is a one that we got from Amanda last summer, right? August-ish. That was like our first tortilla slap box with her, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So she sent this plant as 2 little seedlings potted together. So we thought it was 1 plant, but it turned out to be 2. So they were exactly the same size from the same seed batch. Lauren also has plants from the seed batch. So this is Anthurium RA5 Self.
I don't want to show it.
You won the last one, last 2. You're gonna win the next one too. I feel like we have a lot to talk about for the care. Cause like,
Do we?
So people really have a lot of questions on Anthurium care, substrates, watering, like frequencies, watering.
Oh, you're asking the wrong guy. I'm not the guy for that.
Well, maybe what would you do differently?
Not be me.
Where does yours live?
Right here on my shelf.
Okay.
And this one had the most gnarly case of spider mites.
Oh,
As you can imagine. She's seen some shiz. Yeah, I can see some right here.
oh, so sad. It's funny, your lobes are all kind of like a little bit pointier than mine. You see how round mine are?
Oh, they're so squished.
Yeah. They're like, mine all look exactly the same, just different sizes. But hers have more variability. And your little sinus protrudes more.
Yeah, look how like pointy these.
Yeah, but your little butthole pokes out.
Well, honestly, I think this thing
at
is
it.
just struggling to survive at this point. It's probably nutritional and stress.
Weird.
This thing has hated me. I mean, the roots are happy, which is why I haven't been wanting to take it out. But honestly, I'm contemplating doing drainage holes with tree fern fiber
Yeah.
on this one. Like maybe a tree fern fiber pond mix with drainage and a drip tray at the bottom.
Or you could even put it in something like this,
Yeah.
right? I've always had mine in no drainage in pond since we got it from Amanda.
Those roots are delightful.
I
Oh
just
my God,
repotted
look
it.
at that one. I just want to eat it.
Ooh, look at that. This is maybe 3 or 4 weeks repotted. I did
Wow,
it in a
that's
video.
so
Did I do it
fast.
in a video? I think I did.
Your pond looks so clean.
That's because, I mean, it's pretty fresh. Fresh
So
repot.
clean.
But yours looks clean too.
Stop it.
There's no algae or anything.
I know, but it's so dirty.
Look at this.
Maybe because mine's like party pond and it's red.
It's like red. Yeah, mine's just
Yeah.
gray sediment.
Yeah, don't ask me for care advice on this one. I'm barely just trying to keep this one alive. But I do think this is one I'm going to repot before I go to California.
I don't know. I mean, if you didn't get spider mites, it wouldn't be like having a hard time growing,
Maybe.
unfurling.
Because it was really bad and it's still bad.
This is pretty fresh of a leaf.
Yeah, and it has spider mite damage all over it already. Look at it. Poor thing.
Yeah.
Never stood a chance in this house.
I feel like Everyone I know who has this plant is growing it in a greenhouse, except for Amanda's like mother plant.
Of course. If this didn't have spider mites, I'd be willing to put it in my Anthurium exo because I do have an Anthurium exo right now where I'm acclimatizing. But
maybe your tent because it has spider mites.
do you think it'd be too warm in there? It's so hot in there.
I mean, mine is in my tent, and like at this part of the year, it would be like 30 degrees.
Okay, so maybe
What's 30 degrees in Fahrenheit? 80?
Around 80. Mm-hmm. That's pretty warm.
It is pretty warm.
But
and like my anthuriums do fine in the summer. I don't know why. It's like maybe it's dry heat they don't like, but like humid heat.
That's what I was saying. Dry heat, they freaking hate it. I thought that this one would do much better out here because it's so much cooler, but then the spider mites hit it and I just can't catch a break. With this one, I think the first thing I need to do is just completely uproot, do like a full soak. The good thing about getting spider mites on a plant this small is that it's much easier to treat. I could literally just dunk it and, you know, hopefully call it a day. I haven't actually done that on this plant yet. I've always just been sort of spraying and wiping down, but I've not done a full. And you're like
dunking it in soapy water? Mm-hmm. Any systemic in that?
Sometimes I'll add a little bit of Azimax, just do like a little Azimax bath, but...
Yeah, you should try out that potting method with the drainage and the tree fern.
I think I will, because this is, I just think it's not really liking this. Because even, like, this is not caused by, like, spider mites or anything. Like, I'm getting some of this on some of my Anthurium, and I think it could maybe be avoided if I was able to just do, like, thorough flushes. But here's my question, is when you flush a plant, and if I'm gonna constantly be, like, you know, letting water run through it, how does that work with a myco?
I know, yeah.
Because I feel like the myco works so well in no drainage vessels.
It is, yeah. I think
crazy.
that's probably why they tell you to re-inoculate every few weeks, because they assume that you're flushing and you got drainage holes, or if you're like growing hydroponically.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll just have to keep reapplying Great White. It's fine. The good thing about Great White is that it stretches so far.
It does.
Like, that thing lasts forever.
I'm not gonna run out anytime soon. This plant probably could be a lot bigger. I think given its age, I'm sure other plants from the seed batch are probably like flowering size already. But what I can tell you of how I'm growing it is in my pond mix. We both feed with TPS1 and CalMag. Anything else that you feed with right now?
Not right now.
That's all I feed with right now. Every plant gets inoculated with Great White. It's in my tent, 80 to 90% humidity, under grow lights. And the only issue I have with this plant is that it nicks so easily.
It bruises easily.
Like all this damage came from it just like brushing up against other leaves as it unfurls, like when it moves around like this. That's it. Like I wasn't touching it, I wasn't picking it up. I mean, some of this may have come from traveling to Charmaine's house,
probably.
But the majority of it was just from like it living its life. So it's kind of delicate.
Yeah, it like just registers everything as an emergent leaf.
Yep.
The slightest touch, it's just like, yep, got that.
But I love this texture.
I'm dead.
Look at it.
It's just so beautiful. It's so pebbly
and dark.
Oh man, the sheen on it is incredible.
I think my favorite thing is like how exactly the same every leaf looks. Just what the heck?
So cute. And it's growing. It has like a cute growth pattern right now. It's just all like.
Yeah, I know. But by the next leaf, it's gonna start facing different directions, like my dark phoenix.
Mine looks like road grass.
Everything you don't like is road grass.
It's just like, you know, when you're just driving by, you see something growing on the concrete. That's what this looks like. Amanda, don't look.
Okay.
So, yeah, she won that round. Let's just get that out of the way.
I will accept the win on this one. I think there's just only one left, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just this one. Okay, last one is one more Anthurium. And I'm pretty sure it's obvious who won this one. This one is also from Amanda. We got this last year.
Was this after the RA5 or before?
This was the second box, and then you got yours in a separate thing. I'm pretty sure from when like Lauren got an order from her.
You're right.
So I feel like it may have been the same seed batch. It has to be, right? Mine came a little bit earlier, like maybe by a few months. So this is Anthurium Red Crystal Port, and Charmaine's way bigger. Mine recently got repot in a video because I had some root rot and I've been just dealing with some like what looks like nutritional related issues with the plant, but it's coming back. So it's tree fern fiber mixed with pond and perlite, and it took to that repot really well. So this was like again like that same repot maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it's already creeping out the bottom now. It rooted so
Dang,
well.
that was quick.
It's sitting in like a deep saucer, so it can kind of like sit in water.
That's basically the exact setup that I want to try with a good amount of my Anthurium. Like
But you
this
were thinking
exact
like leca at the bottom
leca,
too.
and then put it in
Yeah.
a tray.
But the newest leaf unfurled a lot better than every other
cute.
leaf, and it's already, I don't know if you can see, but it's pushing a new one out now
And where are you growing yours?
in the tent.
Tent. Okay, so mine is growing on my living room shelf. I did have this growing in my exo for the first, I want to say like month to month and a half, and then I moved it out here.
I was seeing if it was on caterpillars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These two grew in the tent or in the exo. This one grew out on the shelf, and then this one is still very brand new. And I actually repotted this not too long ago. I can start to see some, I just saw it. Where'd it
I
go?
saw one.
It was like a little tiny
What
ween.
the heck? It was green. No.
I
don't-
saw a white one.
What the
Hello?
heck?
Where'd it go?
I saw it the
just
first
saw
time you spun it.
Hello? Oh, here. I saw this guy.
Oh.
So small. This one. I'm gonna show you because I worked so hard to find it. Yeah, I repotted this one not too long ago, but this was living in a tree fern fiber pond mix for months. And it
Since
was
you
just...
got it, I think you would have gotten that like around December, November.
Oh, was it that long?
Oh, yeah, because Lauren got, yeah, it was around November, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was in a really small cup with tree fern fiber and pond, dried out so fast. I was watering it like twice a week, so I finally was like, you know what, we're gonna upsize, get into some pond, and it pushed this leaf out shortly after. So I think it's fairly happy. It doesn't seem to mind the low humidity out here.
Yeah, because I don't,
Cooler temps.
it looks pretty good.
Besides this one little nick.
One tiny nick, but then the leaf before it,
pretty-
one
pretty
tiny
good.
nick, but like,
Yeah, not too bad. And I think it was from like being pushed up against another plant.
I'm just feeling leaf thickness compared to mine.
Is it the same?
Because like, you know how sometimes certain specimens will be like thin leaved and kind of like weak? And I'm wondering if that's the problem with mine. Because I really think it's nutritional
You think?
for me. But maybe it's just like the roots weren't very healthy.
Yeah.
And now maybe it's on its way up.
Your sinuses look wide compared to mine. Like, look at how tight mine are.
I mean, I guess
Well,
this
not
one
this one.
But
But like you've
this
got
one?
like all of yours have like this sort of...
Yeah, this plant kind of confused me because I was expecting like a red crystal with like a Dorito shape, like both parents, but then it looks like an elongated crystallinum with like red.
I love it so much.
I know.
This is probably one of my favorite Anthurium in my collection right now, for sure.
It's really pretty. I'm really curious what it'll look like when it's like bigger.
Me too. I'm excited. Hopefully I can keep this growth going, but
That's really pretty. I like the texture on this leaf.
the new leaf.
It's so
You-
grainy.
Yeah, and you can see it's like it has this very like micro pebbly texture. It's so nice.
Yeah, it's so much prettier when like an Anthurium leaf has that texture versus like super smooth. Mine doesn't really have that. Maybe one day.
One day. So I really love this one. If you're able to get your hands on this hybrid, I recommend it because for someone who cannot grow Anthurium, it's growing pretty well.
Yeah, you definitely
So-
won this one. Yours is sized up so much better, and like the leaf formation's a little bit healthier.
I wonder if it just likes cooler temps.
I wonder, or maybe it didn't like, what did I have it in? I had it in no drainage tree fern at that time. And I think I probably like made it too wet. So I think if I was to do no drainage tree fern in the future, I would try to have a layer at the bottom at least.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It looks like yours is pushing a new leaf.
I think I mentioned it already, but I think you may have zoned out when I talked
Oh,
about that.
sorry. She's not all there, folks. I'm like, so Anne, something
Oh,
you've
did you
never heard
notice?
before.
All right.
So yeah, this is the I will take the win on this gladly.
It was pretty even.
It was.
I would say like, what did we show? 6 plants? I would say it was like 50-50.
I think you won more. Oh, you came for the outro.
All right, Pudge. Come on,
Now's
outro
your
time.
time.
Outro time. Hope you guys enjoyed this shorty guy. Like you guys know, we're both vacation prepping right now, trying to get really ahead on filming. So we're trying to do some shorter videos.
Yeah.
But if you want more of this, make sure you watch part 1 on Charmaine's channel. And then once her video is up that we're filming today, I'm going to link that in the description as well. But it's probably going to go up in 2 weeks if you're watching this on the day it goes live.
Either a week or 2 after this one.
We'll see. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Charmaine. You probably already have. Any last words?
Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, because it helps her a lot on YouTube.
Have an awesome rest of the day, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Mwah!